So everybody, welcome to another edition of our Drive Time video course, and I'm very, very happy to welcome Adam Croft to the show. Adam, how you doing?
Hi Ian, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too shabby, not too shabby. Banished to the loft, but getting by.
Good man.
Getting by. Now, Adam, I know you reasonably well. I know what you do in motorsport, but for those who don't know, Adam Croft, how are you involved in motorsport?
Right, so I guess my involvement in motorsport is threefold. I guess first and foremost as a fan. Been a fan of all sorts of motorsport, particularly Formula One, for as long as I can remember. And then as a competitor, so I think from about 2007, 2008, I started racing and have raced pretty much every year since then in various different series. So started out in sort of club racing Porsches, so 924s and Boxsters. Had a bit of a dabble with Lotus, and more latterly I've been involved in various different Caterham championships. So raced quite a lot of different things, all just at club level. Obviously, like everyone, probably have aspirations to be much higher up, but budget and talent-wise, the club level is probably about the limit for me. And then latterly, sort of since the last 18 months, I've evolved on a business level in motorsport. So I set up the North's first really commercial simulator driver training centre. So this was a joint venture that I set up in conjunction with Ginetta Cars. We're actually based at the Ginetta factory, so it's a mega location to be. And as I say, we're the first facility of this type in the north of England, where we're offering a genuine commercial centre for drivers of all levels, whether that's sort of rookie drivers or kids making their first foray into racing, right up through to sort of touring cars, GT drivers, even LMP1 drivers we have using it. So it's we're trying to, most people on this chat are probably familiar with the likes of iZone and Base Performance, who both near Silverstone, they very much set the benchmark for this market, and we've sort of looked to take what they do, transition it to the north of England, and put our own spin on it, really.
And it's fantastic. Now, I've seen this up close and personal with the Caterham graduates, of course, at Motorsport Days last year. So how did you get involved in SimTrack? I mean, I know you set it up, but what kind of sparked the idea to do it?
Well, as I say, I've been in and around motorsport for many years now, and obviously mainly just shelling out money to do it, and I thought, I wonder if there's a way that you can actually try and make some money on it for a change. But I'd used places like iZone and Base for my own training in the past, and I think it was on one journey when I was doing the 3-hour trek down to Silverstone, I thought there must be something in my local area for this type of facility. And I sort of did some research around it, and it transpired there wasn't really anything of that level being offered in the north of England. So my other business was at a point where there was scope to kind of do something else and look at an alternative business option for me. So it kind of snowballed from there, really. I just started researching it, started chatting to key people involved in it, and then I actually pitched the idea to Ginetta and to Lawrence Tomlinson, who many people on this call will no doubt be aware of, and it went from there, really. They had space, they had interest to want to partner up to do it, and so it went from there, and we launched in January 2019, and I should just stress, it's a facility for all drivers. So whilst we're partnered with Ginetta, it's not just a Ginetta facility. We cater for drivers from all different race series.
Oh wow, fantastic. Well, as I said before we were off air, actually, I'm a Leeds, I'm a Harrogate boy originally, so I will be making sure I pop by to you. Based in Leeds, aren't you? Very, very close. So
we are, the little place called Garforth, which is about 10 minutes just outside of Leeds. Very accessible, just off the M1. So you'll have to pop down and see it in the flesh one day.
I definitely will. Just quickly, Adam, do you have a website? What's the website if people want to go check it out?
We do, yes. So it's simtrack.co.uk. We're also all over social media, as you would expect. So Instagram, sim_track, and on Facebook at SimTrack DPC. So if you want to go and check out more about what we're doing, the facility that we've got, the sort of type of services that we offer, then that's the place to go and check that out.
Fantastic. Now, look, let's talk a little bit about your actual racing. You said you've done quite a bit over the years as well, and obviously on the track you do a lot of sim track racing. Well, I guess you're very familiar with it. So over the years, which has been the one track that you think every time you go to, it's coming up, you just get a little knot in your stomach, you get really excited for? Where would you say?
I mean, we're blessed in the UK, aren't we, with so many fantastic tracks. And actually, I think probably two of my favourite UK tracks are my more local ones. So the likes of Cadwell and Alton are always up there. But for me, the all-time favourite would have to be Spa, Francorchamps in Belgium. I've been lucky enough to race there twice in the Caterhams, and also been to watch the F1 there, I think back in 2011. And the whole place, I was talking to someone about this the other day, the whole place just gives me a buzz, literally it's so old school when you arrive there, and you sort of, you arrive at the track and literally the first thing you see is that drop down into Eau Rouge. And I just love the place. It just sort of, the kind of geek, the racing geek in me fully comes out when I get there, and just love it.
Spa gets a lot of love. So how about this then? Adam, I've got a cracking question for you here. You and me were at Spa, right? And it's a long track, isn't it? So you've got 10 laps around Spa, and behind us is a garage, and I can say I can make any car appear in that garage, past, present, road car, race car. What are you taking out for 10 laps around Spa?
I mean, for me, it's got to be an F1 car every time when I get asked this sort of question. That's been my passion since I was a kid. So I'd probably go with something like probably Nigel Mansell's championship-winning Williams, the 92 FW14, was it? I think, yeah, Red 5. It would have to be that. I think for me, that's my favourite era of Formula One. The cars were absolute monsters there, but the technology was starting to come to them. In terms of the sort of gearbox technology and sort of mechanical grip and power of those cars, it was just immense. So taking that around Spa would be fairly eye-opening, I think.
I think so. So look, throughout your career of racing, and I always like to ask this question, I do apologise because we like to have a bit of fun at your expense. What would you say has been the most embarrassing?
It's very generous to call it a career, to be fair, but
there must be something during racing that you've done you thought, I can't believe I've done that. What's been the most embarrassing moment behind the wheel for you?
Oh, wow. Crikey, where to start with that? I think probably as club racers, we've all done things that we're probably not overly proud of. I can remember sort of stupid things like sort of, bonnet flying up because the catches weren't down, and flying up, smashing your windscreen. But I wouldn't say that's necessarily was my fault per se. But probably my most embarrassing moment was spinning out on the formation lap at Donington Park. It was when I was in the Boxsters, and the Boxsters took me a little bit of time to kind of get to grips with, and I'd sort of spent a season getting up to speed, and then I'd finally sort of found my pace with it. I'd qualified well. We're at Donington Park, a circuit that I love, and as you do, going on another formation lap, sort of giving it all with the tyre warming. And I came out of turn one and just went a bit too hard on cold tyres, and round it went, and pirouetted right down to the back of the field. So I'd sort of qualified high up, and then had the ignominy of having to start plumb last.
A bit red in the face for the start of that one.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't the best, but it happens to the best of them, doesn't it? I've seen plenty of F1 drivers do things like that in their time. So.
Well, I certainly remember Roman Grosjean behind the safety car warming up his tyres and stick it in the wall at Baku, didn't he? I mean, right.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Adam, one thing we always like to give everybody an opportunity as well during your career, your racing career, and also your business career now as well. We often like to say a bit of a thank you to some people, family, friends, sponsors. Is there anybody you'd like to give a bit of a shout out to?
On the racing side of things, I've had a couple of generous sponsors along the way, which have helped to sort of get things going. And at club level, you're not talking about hundreds of thousands of pounds. You're talking, sort of 5 or 10k here or there really helps to get things moving. So. I would certainly say there's a gentleman called Barry Groves, who owns a company called the Fine the Yorkshire Wine Rascal. Previously, they were the Fine Drinks Cooperative. They sponsored me for a couple of years in the Porsches, and actually in 2015 we won the championship together in the Porsche 924. So that was a big year for me. You know, it looked like I wasn't going to be racing at the start of that year, and then managed to get the funding together with Barry to do that. And we went on and won the championship, which is sort of one of my highlights. Well, my highlights of my racing career today. On the business side, I think I have to say a big thank you to Lawrence Tomlinson and Janetta for taking a punt on me, for investing in me. You know, it's very much sort of Dragon's Den style investment when I pitched it to them, and it's enabled us to literally leapfrog this business from a standing start to gaining some traction straight away, and almost a ready-made marketplace for it. So without them, I wouldn't be where we are now. A little bit frustrating with the whole COVID situation, which forced us to close our doors a couple of months ago, but fingers crossed, we're reopening 2 weeks today on the 1st of June, and with a few precautions in place, it should be business as usual. So
fantastic. That's great to hear, Adam, and like I say, I can't wait to come up and see you. But we have to end this interview on probably the most important question you'll ever be asked in your life. So really need you to take time and think about this, okay? Adam Croft, okay. If you were a biscuit, what biscuit would you be and why?
I think probably a lot of people say ginger nut for obvious reasons, but if it was going to be a favourite biscuit for me, it's got to be a bourbon.
Oh, good shout.
all day long.
Good,
I'd be that's the one biscuit that if you open a packet of them, I'm just munching through them non-stop. So that'll be the one for me.
I'll tell you a little secret here. You are the 49th Drive Time episode, number 49, and I've asked that question to everybody.
Right.
And I think you saying that might just put the bourbon to the top of the table. So,
oh really?
So here we go.
What are the other front runners for it?
Custard Creams, Jammy Dodgers, they're both up there quite a bit. I think that's the top three at the minute: Bourbon, Custard Cream, and Jammy Dodgers. So we will release the numbers after
the post lockdown reveal.
The stuff that people really want to know. Adam Croft, it's been an absolute pleasure. I can't wait to come see you at Soontrack. Stay safe, won't you? And
thanks, Ian.
Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Brilliant. No, thank you. Thanks for having me on the show, and look forward to catching up soon.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Adam.